emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Hello and welcome to the Final Order Report, your last chance to get in on upcoming comics before they head to print, and the numbers are locked in. I'm Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer at Green Brain Comics, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on what hits our shelves starting on Wednesday, October 8th, and what you need to pre-order by this Monday at noon, September 15th. Green Brain Comics and the Final Order Report are proudly powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com or download the mobile app for Android and iPhone. Create an account or access your existing account to order and pay securely online, ensuring you never miss an issue. Today I'll be using Comichub to showcase items from this week's Last Call for Confirmed Orders Carousel. Let me show you around real quick. Once you get signed in, you'll see the following banners. Behind the orange banner is everything that may be in the store for you, assigned to your account, waiting for you to pay for, pick up, or ship. Behind the green banner is all the carousels we will be looking at today. Let's jump right into that. Once you select that, you'll see the following menu. You can search all items. That's everything in the latest catalogs that you can order and secure for yourself. Below that is preview pages. That's PDF previews for some of these upcoming books. Then search arriving soon. That's everything that's going to be in the store on this coming Wednesday, September 17th. And then we have search orders due Sunday. That's Last Call. That's the ones we will be using today. Below that is search events. That's for crossover events. Any items, books that cross over into these big events that are happening throughout the different companies. Let's jump back into search orders due Sunday. And you'll see once you get in there, you have a beautiful menu of comic covers to scroll through. This is an alphabetical listing of everything that's on FOC this Monday through this weekend. Above that we have alphanumeric buttons to filter out by title, and then we have drop downs for publisher category and brand, and a bunch of other great ways to get exactly where you want to get. That didn't work. All right, let's do this. Yeah. Now bring up the slideshow. I'm gonna try and bring up the slideshow. There it is. Hey, this episode features music by our friends Klezmageddon. They've branched off recently into soundtrack music, doing a fine job. I'd like to thank everybody over at Klezmageddon and the fine folks at BRAINSCAN Productions. And our first selection that we will be focusing on today is the Final Order Report for Small Press Comics. And the first one is gonna be They Choose Violence from AWA Comics. This is the 5th issue. Okay. This is the 5th issue of this 5-issue miniseries. It's got a street date of October 15th and is written by Sheldon Allen with art by Maurizio Campatella. Over at Bad Idea, we get a 2nd issue of Survive from writer Rob Venditti and artist Doug Braithwaite. Number 1 just debuted this last Wednesday. It's doing all right. What'd you think of it? I think it's got a cool Eduardo Rizzo cover. That is scheduled for October 15th. Also from Bad Idea, we get a new series debut for this 4-issue miniseries called Save Now. This is the new story written by superstar writer Matt Kint with beautiful art from Tomas Giorello and this Luis LaRosa cover. Armed with the extraordinary ability to save any moment in his life and then go back and relive from that point forward again, world-famous superhero Saver can rewrite his past, altering his actions time and time again until he gets things right. But with great power also comes great pain. Cursed with only being able to travel backwards, never forwards, he is burdened by having to spend his relived life in agonizing real time. This drops on, not that date, on that date, October 15th, 40 pages for $5.99. Save Now has this cover by Luis LaRosa, a B cover from Jesse Lonergan, and a chromium version of the Luis LaRosa cover, Save Now #1. And over at Mad Cave Studios, we get the debut of a new series from writer Stephanie Williams, featuring interior art by Isaiah Fulmore. Once upon a time, Savannah and Marcus were the most skilled temporal thieves in the business, slipping through history to acquire rare artifacts. That was before they settled down, had a son, and built a quiet life together. 10 years later, as their son Harper celebrates his birthday, Savannah questions whether suburban bliss is enough. This brand new series from acclaimed writer Stephanie Williams and rising comic artist Asia Fulmore, comes a thrilling new limited series about family identity and the dangerous allure of who we used to be. From Mad Cave Studios, 32 pages for $4.99, dropping on October 8th with this A cover from Carrie Randolph. I'm sorry, that was the B cover, and we got an A cover from Torrin Clark. It's a very nice cover. Get a second issue for Dusk, the new series from David Hahn and Gabriel Hardman. Also from Amp Comics, we get Love Struck #4. Panic, a new distributor or new publisher, sub-distributed through Sumerian Comics, is written by Adam Schlagman, Doug Pascoe, featuring art by Daniel HDR Tama #3. And Oni Press debuts this brand new series on October 8th. There it is. Spectre Vision, the genre-distorting production company co-founded by Elijah Wood and Daniel Noah, joined forces with Oni Press and a rotating cast of premier comic talent for an unprecedented excursion into high strangeness, a brand new series influenced by real documented cases of paranormal phenomena to reveal the liminal spaces where reality and hallucination and science and mythology give way to cosmic wonder and existential terror. There's a lot of ands in that sense. In the first double-sized prestige format chapter, writer, producer, and real-life experiencer Daniel Noah joins acclaimed writer Chris Condon and award-winning artist Dave Chisholm for an unexpected encounter with the Men in Black. Oni Press debuts this brand new series on October 8th. With this A cover by Jock, a B cover by interior artist Dave Chisholm, Becca Carey on the C cover, and we get a foil cover of the foil version of the Jock cover. That's High Strangeness 1967. Oni Press also debuts Rick and Morty versus the Muniverse. Last Mort Standing. Rick and Morty versus the Universe tie-in in Extravaganza. Rollicking writers Daniel Kibblesmith and Alex Fuhrer and joint artist Fred C. Stressing as Rick and Morty galactically gargantuan summer event pits Morty against Morty for all the marbles. We got great covers from David Bardin, Fred C. Stressing, who does interiors, all for Rick and Morty versus the Universe. Last Mort Standing drops on October 8th from Oni Press. Over at Stranger Press, we get a third issue of Fortress from Joel Vanderkamp. And Titan wraps up their 4-issue Return to Skull Island series, spinning out of the hit Netflix show. It's written by Simon Furman with art by Christopher Jones. And to celebrate the 25th issue of Conan the Barbarian, with this spectacular extra-sized 25th issue, features an epic standalone story. Perfect jumping on point for new fans. Written by fan favorite writer Jim Zub, the Nomad. Conan the King welcomes a strange visitor with an even stranger mission. Can the ruler of Aquilonia prove his mettle? Or will the mysterious wanderer's incredible power change the course of history? This special issue 25 is a must-have for Conan fans. It drops on October 8th. Yes, it does. From writer Jim Zub, Fernando Dagnino, and Alex Horley interiors with this Jonas Scharf cover. Danica Brine. Alex Horley with this very cool wraparound cover. Fernando Dagnino. All for Conan the Barbarian number 25. Street Fighter's Masters Elena number 1. This is a one-shot from Udon Press, written by Jim Zub, featuring art by Genzoman, who did this A cover. A B cover from Jeffrey Shamba. Street Fighter Masters Elena debuts on October 15th. That does it for the small press. Let's jump into the slightly bigger press. This is Boom Studios Spotlight on the Killer Affairs of the State 2. This is issue 5 of a 5-issue miniseries, I believe, by Matt and Luke Giacomone, who did this cover. And a debut of the spookiest showdown in Angel Grove is here. For the first time ever, it's a Power Rangers Halloween one-shot featuring the return of the Pumpkin Rapper and the debut of the sugary Colonel Maze. When the villains capture a bus full of kids and a few of the fellow teammates, the Rangers must swap scary stories from their most harrowing missions in order to keep hope alive. Featuring a dynamic lineup of creators from this seasonal anthology, including Hyperforce star Megan Camarena and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers alum Cena Grace. On art, yeah, cool. Got this cover on the A from Miguel Mercado. Nicole Gu on B. A full art variant in foil for $9.99, debuting on October 22nd. And this unlimited full art variant by Nicole Gu. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Halloween Special number 1. Don't miss out. All right, moving over to Dark Horse Comics, we get a second issue of Nocturnals, The Sinister Path. The series just debuted this last Wednesday and did gangbuster business from writer-artist Dan Brereton, who did this A cover. Powers 25 number 2. This series also just debuted this last Wednesday, due out on October 22nd from Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Avon Oeming. Star Wars Tales from the Nightlands number 2, also just debuted from Kevin Scott and Vincenzo Riccardi with a Francesco Francavilla cover. Stranger Things Tales from Hawkins 2 number 4. This has been sub only. If you're interested, please make sure to get your orders in by Monday. We get a new 6-issue mini-series of Avatar: The Gap Year Tipping Point. The Beyond the Screen... What? Oh, only one cover? The Beyond the Screen adventure filling in the gap year at the outset of the hit film Avatar: The Way of the Water, from writer Ethan Sachs and artist Salvatore Porcaro, with a cover also by Salvatore Porcaro. Avatar: The Gap Year Tipping Point number 1 debuts on October 22nd. If you're interested in this, do get your orders in. Also from Dark Horse Comics, we get a new story from the world of Hellboy. It's Captain Henry in the Graveyard of Time. An intrepid time traveler voyages to a new dimension, but the monsters he finds there may be less of a danger than time itself. Mike Mignola and Bruce Zick co-write and Zick draws this new series that explores an uncharted corner of the Hellboy universe. A new 4-part miniseries in the world of Hellboy, debuting on October 22nd. It's Captain Henry and the Graveyard of Time with this Bruce Zick cover on A. Bruce Zick. And a Mike Mignola cover on B. Looks like fun. Dynamite Entertainment comes back with a 2nd issue for Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt. This did really well on its debut this last Wednesday. This is set to debut on October 8th. Fire and Ice number 4, after a long delay, finally gets back on the schedule, from Bill Willingham and Leonardo Manco with this Joseph Michael Linsner cover. Thundercats Lost number 7, Ed Brisson, Rafa Labosco, and a Declan Shalvey cover. And Vampirella Armageddon number 4, the new series from Tom Snagowski with art by Cuberball and a Francesco Mattina cover. Over at IDW, we get a 3rd issue of Monster High World Scare. Star Trek Voyager Homecoming number 2, Webby Mouth. Oh, those are little hands. Oh, leave that man alone. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures Continued number 30 drops on October 22nd. And Valiant Beyond All New Harbinger number 2 from Fred Van Lent, Eric Tomeo, and this cover by Filippo Curzi. Scheduled for October 22nd. Sonic the Hedgehog 82 drops on November 8th. That's a little ways off, from Evan Stanley and Gigi Dutroux. And it's got a B cover. And there's a new 30th anniversary special featuring Sonic the Hedgehog Chaotix. When an elusive master thief threatens to rob the Smithsonian Museum, which detectives are better on your side than Team Chaotix. Can Vector, Espio, and Charmy get to the bottom of the museum's true mystery and crack the case? From Daniel Barnes Jr. writing this series, with a cover by Chris Dobbins on B, and an A cover from Jack Lawrence, who I think does interiors. This debuts on October 27th. We'll see. Sonic the Hedgehog Chaotix 30th Anniversary Special. This is a one-shot. And that does it for IDW in the small press. Let's move on up to... Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Sure, let's do that. That was it for the small press. Now let's move right on over to Image. I think I ruined that surprise. Just so you know, this was Dan Merritt that ruined your surprise. Okay, let's jump right over to there. And move into Image Comics with this new issue of Blood and Thunder. This is number 6 from Benito Sereno, EJ Sue, and Michelle Masasike, debuting on October 8th. I think pretty much everything on Image's periodical schedule is shipping on or on sale October 8th. Everything Dead and Dying number 2, after a very successful debut this last week from Tate Bromball and Jacob Phillips. Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. This is the end of the story arc from Jerry Duggan and Gary Brown. Farmhand 26, the much talked about series finale of this long-running series from Rob Galori. Also features some interior art from Rob Galori and Jean-Francois Blue. Free Planet number 6, Aubrey Sitterson, Jed Doherty. G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, 321. Cool cover from Andy Kubert. And a new silent interlude to the 300th issues in the making. Power Fantasy number 12 returns with this new story arc from Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. And Unchosen number 4 set to drop on October 8th from David Marquez, who writes, does interiors, and drew this cover. Sacrificers number 16 returns with a new story arc and an extra length issue from Rick Remender and Max Fiumara. Image also debuts this new series from writer Henry Barras and artist Lee Lawfridge and Rachel Merrill. Death to Pachuco. During the summer of 1943, Los Angeles becomes a hotbed of tension and conflict as a series of fierce clashes between the U.S. Navy members and Mexican-American youth stemming from the murder of Carlos Urbano. Private Eye Ricardo Tellez needs to find the Sleepy Lagoon killer before the racist mob kills him in the Zoot Suit riots. The clock is ticking, and it's a bad time to be a Mexican. The syndicated team of Henry Barajas and Rachel Merrill uncover a Chino noir rooted in the shameful part of LA's history. With this A cover by David Lapham, a B cover from Katie Skelly. I think Katie's going to be happy with that. My Katie, not Katie Skelly. Katie Skelly's probably already also happy with this. Get a C cover from Marco Finnegan and a D cover from Ramon Villalobos. That's kind of pretty. This debuts on October 8th from Henry Barajas and Image Comics. All right, Spawn the Dark Ages number 1, the first of a 6-issue miniseries from Liam McCormick Sharp, who is writing, doing the interior art, and did this amazingly brutal A cover. Saxon barbarians, Harry Britain from the east. In the north, the Pictish threat looms. From the west, Hibernians send raiders from the land that shall one day be called Ireland. I suspect we should have more covers than I'm showing you here. Yeah, for there are stories of another more worthy king, one anointed. Nope. one anointed by the old Celtic gods, whom the Christians refer to as the Devil Spawn. An exciting new miniseries from the acclaimed artist-writer Liam Sharp. Epic brutality comes to the Spawn universe. Ooh, this is pretty epic too. We get a Super Creepshow special. His ultimate Creepshow experience is an absolute must-read. Join the Creep in a special celebration of superheroes new and old, and very, very disturbed in what's possibly already being called the most important comic book of the year. 'Cause I just read it. First, Dan Waters and Carmine Di Domenico plan a funeral for the world's greatest superhero. Then, Ryan Stegman and Riley Rossmo introduce the world to the Grey Ghost, a superhero who must solve the case of his own death. Finally, Ed Brisson and Andre Bresson unleash the chilling tale of what happens when a super serum gets injected into someone who may be more super villain than hero. Super Creepshow special debuts on October 8th with this A cover by Pi Par, a B cover from Carmine Di Domenico. All for Super Creepshow special. This is a one-shot debuting October 8th. Ooh, and here's a big new story arc from the Transformer series. Kicking it off with new series creators Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora, who start a new era with an oversized anniversary issue. The Energon universe will never be the same as the Autobots and Decepticons kick off the most surprising new chapter in their war on Earth. Optimus Prime and the remaining Autobots must join forces with unlikely allies in order to protect their adopted planet. But Prime's next challenge lies closer to home than he ever imagined. And what is the fate of the Decepticons? The creative dream team of Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora kick off the new direction for Transformers that will be more than meets the eye. We got amazing covers from David Nakayama on the A, Daniel Warren Johnson on the B, David Nakayama foil, a wraparound die-cut mask variant, and a foil die-cut variant by Eric Canet. It's Transformers number 25. Yeah. Debuting on October 8th. And that does it for Image Comics. Let's move on over to DC Comics. And the first thing we'll show you today is Batman and Robin number 26. This is the second part of a new storyline called The Quiet Man from Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Fico Ossio and a Tony Daniel cover. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League of Justice, A League for Justice number 4. From Andy Diggle, Rob Williams, Leandro Fernandez. Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween with its penultimate issue by Jeff Loeb and guest artist Chris Samney with a Tim Sale cover. And this is Court, Children of the Round Table number 2. Number 1 just debuted this last week to not quite the fanfare we were expecting, but if you're interested in this new series from Tom Taylor, make sure you get your orders in. Green Lantern Corps number 9. This is the exciting conclusion of the Starbreaker supremacy from Jeremy Adams and Fernando Pescerin. Supergirl 6 from Sophie Campbell, The Nightmare in Midvale. Man, what a great cover this is. Sophie Campbell is knocking it out of the park with this series, and I'm glad to see her back in the interior pages as well. Dropping on October 8th. We get a third issue of Superman the Kryptonite Spectrum. This is from W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo, the team that brought you Ice Cream Man. Bring you this third issue of a 5-issue miniseries. Ooh, and here's a big debut in the pages of Absolute Batman number 13. Pardon me, I think I'm going through puberty again. Absolute Batman features the debut of Absolute Catwoman. Batman's final showdown with the mysterious Bane. Will he be able to overcome this unstoppable behemoth, or will he be trapped in Arkham forever? This has got some pretty fantastic covers, including an Art Germ cover. It's getting a little bit of controversy, but I think it'll see print. Action Comics returns with 1091 from Mark Waid, Skylar Patridge, and a Ryan Sook cover. Let's get that beauty up there a little bit better. Aquaman number 10, The Dark Tide returns. Jeremy Adam, John Timms. And the penultimate issue of Batman Dark Patterns number 11 from Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman. American Vampire number 1 gets a DC Artist Edition line. Experience the original art of DC's greatest issues and artists at original artboard size. Featuring this black and white cover by interior artist Raphael Albuquerque. And that does it for Image Comics. Ooh, let's double check the release date on that. That one's a little bit different, so let's push that for October 15th. If you're interested in this bad boy, remember it clocks in at a huge, I think it's like 12 by 18, something like that. 32 pages for $14.99. All right, back to the slideshow. This is our last section of new comics on FOC. We get some new issues from Marvel Comics, including the next new issue of Captain America number 4. I think that's the right date. Yeah. No. There it is. Is that it? I did it. I think I got that backwards. Okay. Street date on this is October 15th from Chip Zdarsky, Valerio Schiti. Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe number 4, dropping on October 15th. As is Incredible Hulk number 30. Oh boy. The Abomination returns after his recent one-shot in the Bring on the Bad Guys series of one-shots. This is a landmark issue of the Incredible Hulk. It's the end of an era, the beginning of a new one, and the first appearance of the Mother of Horrors from Philip Kennedy Johnson and artist Nick Klein. Marvel Zombies Red Band number 2 debuts on October 22nd with this outrageous Adam Warren cover. Remember, this series is polybagged, comes in at a $4.99 cover price, and features the Thing's tongue. One World Under Doom. The penultimate issue of this miniseries from Ryan North, R.B. Silva, and a Ben Harvey cover. Star Wars The Legacy of Vader number 9. Ooh, with this very nice Derek Chew cover. And we get a second printing of Ultimate Spider-Man number 20, featuring friends. Jonathan Hickman, Dave Messina. And then enter the Goblin Slayer in Amazing Spider-Man number 15, set to debut on October 15th, from Joe Kelly, Ed McGuinness, and Patrick Gleason on the cover. We get a second printing of Doomed 29. This is a one-shot that ties into One World Under Doom. And that drops on October 15th. As does Imperial War Black Panther. The one-shot gets a second printing with a recolored cover. And the Planet She-Hulk one-shot from the Imperial War also gets a second printing. Ooh, and we get a second printing of Thor #1. I guess subtitled The Mortal Thor, with this fantastic Patrick Gleason cover on A. And we've got series debuts on these spin-offs from the Age of Revelation. This is Iron and Frost #1. This new series is written by Cavan Scott with interior art by Ruari Coleman and a cover by Yasmin Putri. Cold as frost, hard as iron. X years later, after 3K's devastating terrorist attack cost Tony Stark and Emma Frost everything, the Heartless Queen returns to what remains of her past. Secrets hide in the ruins of New York. The Hellfire Club has a dangerous new leader. This new series debuts on October 15th with an A cover by Ryan Brown. This Francesco Mobili cover. Kind of hard to see what's going on there. Yeah, Iron and Frost #1. Also from the Age of Revelation spin-offs, this is Rogue Storm. Cool split cover by Umberto Ramos. Kill the goddess, save the world. X years later, with Earth's gods gone. Only Aurora Monroe, the mutant god of storm, remains. She is the goddess driven mad by a dark magic and grief. Now, as Storm threatens to freeze the world into a new ice age, Rogue leads a team of killers and legends. Gateway, Iceman, Phantomex, Spiral, and Warpath. The sole mission of this uncanny X-Force: kill Storm, from writer Mariwa Ayudeli, and interior art by Rowland Boshi. This takes the place of the Storm series for the duration of the Age of Revelation event, and has a cover by Umberto Ramos. This debuts on October 15th. Has a Ivan Talavera cover, who's been turning in some knockout illustrations. Karen Darbo cover, always fascinating art. A Ricky Yagawa character variant. And a Stefano Caselli Revelation variant. Rogue Storm #1 debuts on October 15th. And the final debut this week on Final Order Report is Sinister's 6. A sinister heist. X years later, Mr. Sinister assembles an elite strike force to take his rightful place on the throne of Revelation. What has Sinister offered Havoc, Black Cat, Domino, Omega Red, Phantomex, and Venom to convince them to take on impossible odds? Are Sinister's misfits throwing their lives away, or has Revelation underestimated how far his subjects will go when there's nothing left to lose? This new series debuts on October 15th from writer Dave Marquez, artist Rafael Lorero, and features this David Marquez cover on A. Ario Anandito cover. This is a real interesting mix of characters in this team. A Lee Garbett Revelation variant. Ooh, that's creepy. And a Ricky Yagawa character variant. Sinister 6, #1. And that does it for our final order report on Marvel Comics this week. A mercifully condensed program versus last week's #1 fest. But before I let you go, please let me talk a little bit more about events that we have coming up. But just a quick announcement. Brain Candy number 72, which was set to be held on this coming Monday, September 15th, has unfortunately been canceled due to unforeseen health reasons. Normally this program is presented by the Emerging Writers Network and it would be open and free at Green Brain Comics. We hope to reschedule these magnificent local area creators for their presentations. Of course, musician Marbrisa, poet Wafa Mustafa, the prose of Christine Hume, and the visual art of Michaela Ryback will unfortunately need to be rescheduled, but we're looking forward to having them back in for the next regular Brain Candy. Remember, this Brain Candy has been canceled. And let's see, a week from Saturday is Batman Day. That's right, Saturday, September 20th. We'll be giving away some free comics, except for the split free comic featuring a preview of Batman #1 and Red Hood #1. The Red Hood #1 has been asked to be taken off the shelf by DC Comics due to some very unfortunate comments by the writer that the rest of that series has been canceled. Those issues are no longer available for purchase. However, Batman Day will feature a couple other awesome free comics, Batman themed. We will have a few limited exclusive retail items for Batman Day, and we'll also be offering a special discount on all Batman comics and graphic novels. And the Saturday after that is Local Comic Shop Day. For more information on this worldwide event and to see some of the comics that we'll be having on the shelf, we hesitated a little bit about getting involved in this program this year, but it has been organized by the great people at Comics Pro, and we're going to give it another shot. It's a great opportunity for you to shop local and shop comics. Shop Green Brain Comics on Saturday, September 27th for Local Comic Shop Day. And this coming Tuesday, be sure to join us back here on YouTube for another episode of BRAINSCAN, our live stream preview of New Comic Day, all from the floor of Green Brain Comics. That's Tuesday, 6:30 every week. It's BRAINSCAN. And I'd like to thank you heartily for joining me today on Final Order Report. This has been a nicely condensed program this week. And we will be back again next Friday to bring you all the information on new comics that you have your last chance to special order. Make sure to get your orders in by this Monday at noon to ensure your copies on date of release. And that does it for me, Green Brain Comics. Let's see. Thanks for joining me for the Final Order Report. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We are Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All of the links to our shopping cart website and Comic Hub are below in the description. Music for this episode provided by Brainstem Productions. We are spreading the love of comic books and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. Feed your brain at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you again soon. Emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought. changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics.